We're live.
Yay.
Yes, we're live. Oh my gosh, I'm like so excited that we're able to invite you all in to our little private leadership session. And my name is Cindy Mack, and I am here with a bunch of girlfriends and new girlfriends. And it's been really fun because I moved to Austin, Texas about 5 years ago. And so to be able to move to a new place and then automatically have friends, because in America you could go anywhere and you've got friends that you can just feel completely connected with because we have something in common. And so when we figured that we were going to be getting together, we thought, why don't we go live and just share some stories? I don't know about you guys, but please, if you're just joining us and you're watching live, feel free to comment. We want to know who's watching. So just tell us who you are. I mean, we've probably got some consultants and some guests. And so feel free to comment. Let us know if you're watching from Facebook. Just type your name in there because we won't be able to see that right off the bat. And if you've got questions or comments, please feel free to do that. But this was totally spontaneous, and so it'll be nice because people can just kind of watch whenever. But I love stories, and I always love women gathering around and just kind of having some coffee talk. And so what I wanted to do is just ask each of them a question that I feel like you all can relate to. You know, just different things that women go through. And I think sometimes you feel like you're alone when you are going through something and you're really trying to, whether you're a consultant or whether you're a guest and you're dealing with life. I mean, with COVID or life in of itself, it's challenging. But if you hear somebody that's an overcomer or somebody that has a similar situation to you, I think that we can be encouraged. Even if it's slightly different, it's just encouraging to hear stories. And so I'm going to introduce you to my new friends. Do you like my accent? Okay, I know, it's so Texas. I fit right in. And so again, those of you who are just joining in, my name is Cindy, and we were supposed to have a leadership conference this weekend. And we were going to be in San Antonio. And of course, because of COVID, the company canceled it. And so we have a little small gathering here of just some of us that were like, we want to watch it with buddies. And so we're going to be watching the rest of leadership, but we have this little window of time. And so I'm going to just kind of go around and ask some questions. We're going to share some stories, and then we'll wrap it up. And so hopefully this will be entertaining, informative, and encouraging for you. And so September, I'd love for you to lead us off. September is the serious one in the group. And so she's actually the gatherer. She's amazing at connecting people and bringing people together. And so I'm going to kind of ask each person how Mary Kay found them, and maybe some experience that they had in Mary Kay that is shifting. And so both kind of answer both questions. Like, how did Mary Kay find you? Because I know you were always into sports. So how did Mary Kay find you? And then what's something that like your family has gotten out of it in the years of being with the company?
Yeah. Okay. So Mary Kay was not something I was necessarily directly looking for. They say be careful what you pray for because you might get it. I had been praying for something different in my life for my next season, and really it was exactly what Mary Kay is, but didn't think it'd be in this package. And so I've never been girly, didn't own a doll as a child, always played sports. I made mud pies. It's about as homemaker as I got. I still get. Don't really like the color pink. But I love my pink car. And so it was just surprising. But when Mary Kay found me, I was looking for something different to do after having a dream job that ended. And so that's it. And now it's been a while. Like, I was a baby when I started, and now it's been 19 years.
Now you have babies.
Now I have babies, and I always wanted 4 boys because, I don't like girls. And God gave me 3 girls and a boy. And but now this has just been a dream.
And you've been able to create your home dynamic that works for you all, right? So how does that work?
Even though my husband has a master's degree, we've chosen for him to leave a stressful situation and be home. And so he homeschools our kids, and we trust the Lord to provide. So it's very
now you trust your business and your work ethic,
yes,
and the opportunity, and
Absolutely.
Of course the Lord has blessed you through that, and
Absolutely.
it's been really cool.
Absolutely. And now I like women.
Yeah.
The right kind.
positive ones,
Yes.
the uplifters. Yeah, definitely. Well, Autumn, your situation is a little bit different in that one, it's really cool that you're Mary Kay. Your mom introduced you to Mary Kay, and then now as a single mom, how have you been able to work it that way? Because I know that can be a challenge for people to think like, I can't. I'm a single mom. Everything's depending on me, but you're doing it.
Yes. So it's very interesting because the Lord had to show me that this would provide, because I was married whenever I started my Mary Kay journey. But in the midst of Mary Kay, I was faced with an unexpected divorce. And but Mary Kay gave me the confidence financially to support our family because it is my sole income. Having a Mary Kay car and not having a car payment has freed me financially so that I can be a single mom. My daughter can do gymnastics. She can play softball. We can do t-ball. I can afford the things that typically I wouldn't be able to afford. But more importantly, this will kind of make me cry, is when every single thing in my kid's life was changing because of the divorce, the one thing that remained the same is I did not have to get a job. I was able to pick them up, take them to school, be there for all of the things during the day. I was able to remain constant when everything else was not.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is so. I know that's big, because if you do have to drop them off, I mean, that's just one more thing that they have to deal with where they don't have that security of mama and daddy. And so that is so great. And now you've earned 2 free cars, right?
2 cars.
Yeah, I love it. Listen, that is a huge, think about a car payment, insurance payment, taken care of. Anything that goes wrong with it, it's not your responsibility. The company takes care of it. Yeah, that's a big one, right?
But it's totally trash because you have children.
You turn it in and you know what. I know, that's so true. I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of kids, Jess, you have a few.
I do.
Again, I think sometimes we can get in our brain that that I don't want to sacrifice my kids for something that for me, like, because sometimes we think like doing this is for me and not for them, and it takes away. How do you look at it, and how have you been able to manage it with 5 children?
I know it's been a journey for sure, but I love it. I love that Mary Kay allows me the freedom to work from home, because my kids get to see me set goals, miss goals, reset goals, hit goals, earn free cars for our family. And I got to take them on a cruise last year. They all came with me, and so that was really fun. And so my kids love to, like, whether we're coloring in a poster or putting stickers on a board to count down to a goal, that they get to be a part of it. And they have that ownership. And so they get to see what that Mary Kay does for our family in a very practical way. So yeah, it's been really great. And our youngest 2 are actually adopted. We fostered them and adopted. And so Mary Kay provided that flexibility and the financial piece of that to be able to have that option for our family. And then now they're part of our forever family. We can't imagine life without them.
Wow. Well, I think that a big thing is that it's what's caught. And I know that's like such a cliche, but what's caught, when you see Mary Kay kids, like, there's something, I've been in the company for 30 years. So I've seen a lot of, I do not have children, but I've seen so many kids that I have watched grow up in the confident, healthy environment of a Mary Kay home. Because if mama is being fed and we're being filled up, there's an overflow.
Absolutely.
Of everything you learn, everything that you're challenged with and you grow, your kids get it. Oh my goodness, it's so good. So thanks for being that example. I love that. So Amber, okay, now this one here is not only in leadership. She's like, oh no, I want leadership in Mary Kay, but I'm going to keep my corporate job and fit it in. And you've been able to have, now you've got like 2 executive incomes.
Yes.
Not that you're greedy or anything like that. but how do you do it? Because there's some people that go, I love my job, or I want to keep my job for certain reasons. Maybe there's a retirement in store in a few years and you want to, how do you do both?
Plan your time. I mean, it's struggle, but if you do your time wisely,
Mhm.
you can get it done. Just know when you can work. I originally started as a side hustle because I love the product. I've been introducing
And talk
products.
a little louder. I'm not sure if that means matters,
Oh,
but
well,
just in
because I'm
case.
way back
Yeah.
here.
So lean in.
Lean in. So now I was introduced, tell a little bit of my age, 20 years ago. And I just love the product. So I joined just because I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And then life changed 2+ years ago where my husband lost his job. So I thought it was my play money, on the side. Well, now I needed to bring an income in.
Gotcha.
And I just focused on what I needed to do. And I started seeing, I can make more money. And so now I'm working both, but my goal is to hopefully by
Transition.
summer transition to full-time Mary Kay.
Love that.
Yay.
So,
Yeah. You know what? I think that the busier you are is when you cut out all the noise.
Yeah.
And
that's
you
true.
really, I think we sometimes overcomplicate the business because there's so many fun aspects of it.
Yeah.
And so you're like, I'll do this. And then when it's like, oh no, I'm going to laser in because I really
Exactly.
need the higher income level, then you do what you know you need to do and you forget all the other stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
and it
So-
did. I mean, with his job change and his income cut in half, I have Mary Kay.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
And it is
Yeah.
fun. It was fantastic. I've met so many women differently than I would have.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then
no.
that leadership position is you do meet some different people and you get so inspired and encouraged. I think it
do.
gives you that energy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Having a backup plan, I tell you, a lot of people say, no, I don't really need it or not right now. But gosh, if you just did it for your own personal use, if something happens, you could pick right up on it whenever you want to.
Yeah.
And look good in the process.
I know. I love it. So Tessie,
Yes.
I love, love, love where you fit into this piece of the puzzle because one of the fastest growing demographics of our Mary Kay world is those empty nesters, the women who are like retiring from their first career and they're starting that second chapter. And it's almost like a give back season where you've learned so much in your walk, in your life, that now you can mentor other young women in your Mary Kay business. So how did that look for you? I mean, you had this corporate career that you retired a little early.
I did. I actually had my career as a tax accountant for 24 years with the company who I thought I was going to retire with full benefits. And I started seeing the changes in the corporate world and decided I wanted to be my own boss and make my own schedule. So I just crunched the numbers and seen what I was going to lose by retiring from the corporate world early, and I could compensate that in 2 days with my Mary Kay business. So I actually started my business while I was working the corporate job, in which being in taxes, everybody knows January through May, I was nothing but taxes. So I had to sprinkle my business in maybe 5 hours a week. And then whenever I seen the flip and the change, actually a year and a half before I was planning on retiring, I crunched the numbers and decided it was time to take the leap of faith.
Wow. I love that courage. And you know what? Here's the math. And this is when we work in logical mode versus emotional mode. And I know leaders get that.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can go, oh, but I don't know, the retirement, if I retire early, I'm going to lose. She crunched the numbers and it was $600 a month. So retiring early, she lost $600 a month, but she makes that in a weekend with her Mary Kay business.
Okay.
So
And has a car now.
and has a free
And-
car. So you have the retirement, the free car, and now you have an executive income with Mary Kay as your second chapter to give back.
Within 1 year of my retirement, I debuted as a director, and 3 months later, earned my first free car.
Yeah. I love that. See, there's no type. I'm a big, do not put me in a box.
No.
I like freedom and choice, and I love meeting all different people. I've always been drawn to just different people. Tell me about you. And to be able to see that all of us can do it in a different way is so cool to me. I love it. Well, just to kind of shift a little bit, Marie, you're kind of like me, and you're a lifer. We call at Mary Kay those who have been in a long time were lifers. You can't get rid of us, And so we've been in a long time, and so you've seen a lot of wonderful things in your journey. But recently, you've experienced a major loss, and we asked if it was cool to talk about, and but I think it can be a major inspiration for people out there. And then when you experienced this loss, you can kind of, share a little bit of that. What was it like being in a community and a culture environment like Mary Kay?
Yeah. So 14 months ago, we lost our youngest son in a tragic car accident. And I wasn't going to cry, but I know public's good, I promise.
Right.
But my girls, we have 4 children. Ian was the youngest, and he was 2 when I said yes to Mary Kay, and he would have been 30. And so my girls, who are older than him, both came to me during the course of the days following his accident and were blown away by the community of people and my husband's and my support network that kept coming and kept coming and kept coming and bringing food and gifts and toilet paper and Kleenex and hand soap. And of course, this was before COVID, but they all had this, 6'6", knowing that we would need all those things. But it was just before COVID. And, you don't know what for me, I didn't know what my 30-year-old self, when I said yes to Mary Kay, would need. When my son was killed, and we didn't know, of course, we don't know what's coming. But I will be forever grateful that God said, you need to say yes now when you did, which I did, working full time. And just said yes to Mary Kay as a side hustle because I love the product and I really like a deal. Let's just be real. But what I know over the seasons of these last almost 29 years is that I was able to have quality and quantity time with all of my children and now our 7 grandchildren.
Wow.
And you can't like go back. Time is precious. And so, as a family, we'll be forever grateful that my Mary Kay sisters just came in and just brought a hand. And
I love the part when you had said that your unit stepped up. Now we call our consultants that we have on our team, we call it like a unit of consultants. And you didn't miss a beat income wise when you were grieving and having to bury your son and go through all of that. Your unit stepped up and performed where her income didn't drop, and they were like, "We got you, sis. You're okay."
I didn't have to call a boss and ask for more time off. It was a gift.
Wow.
It's been a huge gift.
Wow.
So,
It's just it's always encouraging. We know it. Like I said, I've been with the company for 30 years. I've seen that kind of thing. But when you hear it over and over and over and over again in other people's lives in our Mary Kay world, you just go, it's our Mary Kay world everywhere.
Absolutely.
And it's just what's been created by the woman herself with their standards that she set long ago. Well, Ryan, we'll just kind of take us home here. And so, another different situation and a different story, Ryan comes from corporate America and absolutely loved her life, loved her job, made an incredible income, and just had that kind of perfect dynamic with the kids and the job and everything. And then what happened, because there was an awakening or a shift in your mind. Yeah. So what was it?
Well, there was a pregnancy surprise. So that was fun. But before that, I was really raised in this 1%er mindset. And I just expected to exhaust every talent God had given me, every minute of time, ability. And I just got up every morning and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to exhaust it for my company. I want to exhaust it for my goals, for our financial goals. I wanted to exhaust it for our household. And I love going after Marie because what I didn't know at the time, I was dropping off a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old to make me cry at the daycare, which I loved our daycare. I did work at a hospital, and so it was attached. It was wonderful. It was impeccable. It was fantastic. And while I would drop them off and climb the career ladder and love every second that I was in my office and working with these women and working with this corporation, I loved it. It fed my soul. One of the things I didn't realize is I was getting the quality time, but I was not getting the quantity time with my family. And when I think about how I wanted to be excellent, I had honestly talked myself into the thought process that I was being excellent across the board. And in fact, I was compromising. And when I started looking at at Mary Kay as an option, what I appreciated is it looked like an entirely different animal. Entrepreneurship was nothing I desired. I loved the structure of corporate America, and it felt very secure to me. And my paycheck felt very secure to me. And when I looked at the business model, I thought on one side, this is genius. And then on the other side, this scares me a little bit because it is not my monthly paycheck as it was. Now, what I love too is, on the other side of applying the exact same work ethic and the exact same 1%er mentality to my Mary Kay business, on the other side of life, 14 years later, what I've realized is I have had every single moment with my children. So my oldest was 3 and 1, and I was pregnant. And now they're 18, 15, and 14.
Wow.
And so I've had the executive income that I desired to have. And I literally sat in the same house with my children at virtual school. And I mean, if we all want to go have a snack in the middle of the day, we have a snack in the middle of the day. I listen to the teachers teach Zooms. So I'm involved in every single aspect, yet we were able to produce $1 million unit, women of excellence, and we could do it the exact way I wanted to do it. No red tape. So,
And you give your job away. So
all day.
So here's
all day.
1 minute that you're going, I'm designing my life and I have all of this and I'm mentoring these women so they can do the same thing.
Yes.
And that's the thing, is that you can love your job and you can create a life for yourself in a corporate setting, but can you help all these other women in your life do the same exact thing?
Unlimited.
Unlimited. So so those are our stories, and I hope that you're encouraged. As I close this out, when I started, I was a waitress. I was going to school full time. I was planning a wedding. I was getting ready to move. I had a lot going on. And the only reason why I said yes is because I trusted the person that shared it with me. And I was curious. And I thought, for $100, I'll get my makeup at half price. And at a very young age, I'm so grateful that I started at 23. And those of us that started at a very young age, knowing that I grew up in an atmosphere where you're constantly taught. Your faith comes first, then your family, then your career. Out of that order, nothing functions the right way. And the golden rule, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And so we've all been raised that way in this environment, and I'm so grateful. So if you're watching this, and those of you who are consultants, I hope that you're encouraged, and I can kind of see the comments because I don't have my glasses on. So later we'll look at them and maybe we'll answer. If you got any questions, we'll go back and answer. So thank you for commenting and asking questions. But as I wrap this up, if any of you are curious, if you're just watching this, if you're inspired, great. We did our job just to encourage another woman. We just say, go you. But if you're curious about this, there are a few different ways that women do this, because sometimes you look at this and you go, oh my gosh, this sounds really cool, but I don't even know that I could even put it in my calendar right now because we've got our life planned out. This was you didn't plan for this. And so if that's you, for $30, when COVID hit, Mary Kay pivoted quickly and said, hey, we're going to give a virtual option so we can help women be able to supplement their income right now when things are crazy. So for $30, for 3 $10 bills, you could literally have a website up and running to service clients and a credit card processing system, all free for a year. With that $30, you get that. And you get 50% of everything that you sell. So some people are like, I'll be a brand ambassador. That means I love the product and I'll represent. I'll wear it well. I'll get it at a discount, sprinkle it around with my friends and family, and share the discount, share the love, and that's it. Maybe make a little extra cash, but really it's just for the product. And so you can do that for $30, 50% off of your products. The second way some people do this is for a side hustle. They're just saying, you know what, like I kind of need a side gig. I do need a backup plan. I don't have a backup plan, or I may lose my job, may get a pay cut, whatever. I know I can set my phone. And so that side hustle sounds really good, because who can't use an extra $300 to $500, maybe even $1,000 extra a month? Studies show that a lot of families save $500. Think about what you would do for $500 with $500. $500 is like, I don't know if you guys have ever done this math, but it's 3 satin hands, 3 lipsticks, 3 lip glosses, and 3 mascaras. If you did that each week, you'd make $500 cash profit. And what would you use that $500 towards? A student loan, towards maybe college for the kids, or a new car, or whatever. And so that's that side hustle. And then the other option would be a boss babe. and join this group of women and go into leadership, because some people do transition to that boss babe spot because you say, I want to be an entrepreneur. I've always wanted to own my own business, but I don't want the risk of starting a company and getting loans and locations and all of that, because all the risk is on you. But in this way, you can be an entrepreneur, start your own business with a backing of a company that's the size of a Fortune 500 company that is very stable, 57 years old, debt-free, and recognized. Actually, the reports just came out that we are recognized as the #1 direct selling company that in COVID pivot working virtual. We have, our company is so awesome. And they listen to us, they ask us, we collaborate with them, and that's what makes us so great. So anyway, we could go on and on and on and on. And I did want to kind of mention, should we still mention?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Ryan's going to kind of mention this hot new product. Now, this is a product that could help anybody have a side hustle and make great money, because this product alone is going to blow up. So talk about Clinical Solutions.
Okay, so we have new products called
This is our
Clinical Solutions.
research. This is our friend who does all research.
Yes,
Research.
I'm a nerd, which is interesting because I washed my face with Cascade when I started.
Yeah,
So,
I don't even know.
but y'all, this is what I love is Mary Kay brings the heat. So it's interesting because during COVID, we've seen the industry move all the way back to what they call vintage brands. And so they want to go back and return to brands they know, they trust. And so what better brand, because we already lead the global market. So we are that vintage brand that everybody trusts. We have all the good housekeeping skills. We have the proof that we are exactly who we say we are, and we're going to give you exactly what we say you're going to give you. But at the same time, we're hot off of earning all these innovation awards too. And our next phase of that is dermacosmetics. And so we're entering dermacosmetics, where our company is taking all the things we do that will compete with med spa brands and things that women are seeking out dermatology services for. And so it is not done by a medical physician. It's still the convenience and the supervision, the partnering of a consultant. But we now have pure 0.5% retinol. So it's called the Clinical Solutions Pure Retinol Set. And what I love about it personally is after the age of 20, our collagen starts slowing down and we stop replacing it. So we lose 1% every single year. So you're like me, I'm 42. So 22% is gone. And so most women, if they're spending their dollars and their time, they are tired of just stopping the aging process and they're ready to reverse it entirely. And that's what the Clinical Solutions will do. So we've combined the pure retinol and the ability to stair step for your skin. Your skin doesn't have to act the same way your friend's skin or your mom's skin reacts, but we can actually take the facial milk that comes with the pure retinol and we can customize your retinol plan. So
It's actually affordable too. That's the thing.
it's
It's
super
under-
affordable.
Yes,
Yes.
because normally you
That's
have
a
to go
great
to a
deal.
dermatologist
Oh,
or
for
a med
sure.
spa, and it's always going to be more expensive when you go there
Oh,
because
for sure.
well,
And so
why?
many.
Well, you know, the
Yeah.
other thing is that we can manufacture, we've got a manufacturing plant, so we could produce this product at a volume that allows us to keep the price point down, but yet the consultants have been certified. So just so that you know, our consultants are going through a certification, and so that they learn how to take you through the retinization process. And so not only is it great for our clients that we're offering it to help them, but what a great boost to our income and our
absolutely.
opportunity and
For
really
sure.
our brand. And
Yeah.
so we had to throw that in, and especially like just in this season right now, I know that there's a lot of people that are looking for something. And so connect with your consultant if this is something that made you a little bit curious. Connect with your consultant, and she can direct you to the information in the right way that would be for you if this were something that you would want to do. And if not, she can show you the clinical solution. I don't want to try it. Right?
Absolutely. Yes,
All right, you
yes.
guys. So I'm going to have to get up and actually sign us out. So thank you so much for joining in. And you guys have a great weekend. Bye.